Hello everyone, Eileen Davidson here again, talking about another session that I went to of interest at the American College of Rheumatology Conference with the Go With Us program from the International Foundation of Autoimmune and Autoinflammatory Arthritis. The one that I went to and I'm speaking about now is it takes a team helping people with rheumatic diseases successfully navigate work. Now this one, having been put on disability, interested me in trying to figure out how I can work part-time with a rheumatic disease, as well as also my connection with the Arthritis Research Canada, who has done a lot of work around this, and Dr. Deanne Lakai, the scientific director, was one of the main people on the panel discussion about this. So they just examined how there's a lot of work being done on examining work in rheumatic diseases. However, not enough patients are being asked about their work lives, and they're not being referred to an occupational therapist enough in the US. And this has to do with because a lot of rheumatologists don't know what to do about work. But work is such an important part in our lives. There is a really powerful quote, "Love and work are the cornerstones of our humanness." So that really resonated deeply because a lot of what we do reflects on who we are. So, yeah. They also describe the different kinds of patients. There's people out there who fit in, they're part of this donut hole. The patients who don't fit into work in full time and they're too well to qualify for disability. Now this is definitely a policy issue because a lot of people with rheumatic conditions live with a dynamic disability. So that means their abilities fluctuate day to day and are always the same. So I think that's probably a lot of the problem where people with rheumatic conditions fall in when it comes to being on disability and then also getting by on disability, the stipulations that we have. And there's also a lot of internalized ableism that can manifest in us when our bodies aren't working properly and increases more anxiety and depression. So losing our ability to work is really quite traumatic on us. They also highlighted that fatigue is a massive problem for people to keep working, not just pain. One of them, Diane Lakai, was saying that over 20 years she doesn't find this talked out about enough. But it comes up more prominently than pain, but it's least understood by doctors and the people around us who have to live with us and our rheumatic conditions. The new ULAR guidelines do address these, however, they are the first of the kind and they don't have a full answers on how to navigate fatigue. They said to highlight thinking of energy management the same as time management when working with arthritis. And ever since I heard that, I've been really thinking about it, how I pace myself throughout the day. And then they also want to describe that if somebody doesn't have to disclose their diagnosis at work, they're not obligated to at all. So, a lot of people don't because of the negative impacts that it can have. So that is something that I think that people need to talk to about with a social worker or the rheumatologist, an occupational therapist, and go down a few different directions before they disclose their condition at work if they're not comfortable with it. They did also highlight two great resources for people. Jan.com, which is a bunch of work accommodations for various types of conditions, all sorts of things. That was recommended by Cheryl Crow. So she's an occupational therapist with rheumatic disease. Great advice. And then the Making It Work program from Arthritis Research Canada. She feels that physicians don't feel really comfortable addressing work because they don't really know what to do. So this was something that she wanted to create because arthritis is actually the #1 cause of disability in the world. So it is a huge financial burden on the people living with it and also the economy. So how do we keep people with arthritis to continue to work? So they developed the Making It Work program, and that can be found at makingitwork.arthritisresearch.ca. All right, so I was able to pull from the working session. And yeah, I think that we're heading into a really good direction where fatigue is being addressed a little bit more. Not enough where I think it needs to be, but I think that this was very important in moving into the correct direction that we need to go to when it comes to fatigue and work, because I know that's personally something that I really struggle with.